At 12:33 p.m. yesterday, a deputy sheriff assigned to this building as a school resource officer came across our radio system asking for help. And his request for help was the result of what appeared to be a possible shooting inside the school. As all of you are well aware, that deputy and other deputies, as well as large numbers of public safety professionals from across the South Metro area, responded to this call for help and responded according to our active shooter protocols and did the work that they've been trained to do in an exceptional manner. We know that one young lady was injured as a result of the shooting, and in a few minutes I will identify her, and again I will be honored to read a statement from her family. Throughout the night, we have had a very large number of very, very well qualified and extraordinarily committed individuals conducting a variety of investigative responsibilities associated with this tragic shooting. Some of the efforts have been done by crime scene investigators inside Arapahoe High School. Some of the efforts have been done by investigators and crime scene investigators that have executed at least 3 search warrants on a variety of properties around the metropolitan area, and then a large number of interviews that were conducted beginning almost immediately after the shooting occurred and continue to be accomplished as we speak. Those interviews will continue. It is our intention, as I told you yesterday, that we will conduct a complete and we will conduct a thorough investigation. And it is not our purpose nor our intent to do it fast. It's our absolute obligation to do it right, and that will be accomplished. I'd like to go back in the investigation and give you some information that we have learned overnight and up until just a few moments ago. A few moments ago, I was briefed by the leadership team that is conducting this investigation, so the information that I have for you is as current as I can possibly make it. We know yesterday that shortly before 12:33 p.m., an individual entered the north side of Arapahoe High School. And I will tell you, initially our reports were that the individual entered the west side, but the individual entered a doorway that's almost immediately adjacent to the library of Arapahoe High School. And he came through that door shortly before 12:33 p.m. We now have had the opportunity to view security video from the school, and that opportunity to view that security video has been absolutely instrumental in our ability to understand better what happened and understand exactly how this individual entered the school and what he did once he entered the school. We know the individual entered the school on the north side after parking his vehicle along the curb on the north side of the school parking lot. The individual that entered the school was armed with a shotgun. He took no effort to conceal the fact that he was armed. Everyone that saw him realized that he was armed with a shotgun. The individual also had a bandolera of multiple rounds of shotgun ammunition strapped across his body, and he was also armed with a machete, a very large knife. The individual also carried a backpack with him as he entered the school. We now know, as a result of our investigation, that inside that backpack were 3 incendiary devices. All along the times that we have visited, I have told you that I've used the words Molotov cocktail, and that's exactly what these 3 were. All 3 were in the backpack. Shortly after entering the school, the individual fired 1 random round down a hallway and then immediately went into the immediate area and space of the female victim and shot the female victim point blank. Fired another round down the hallway and then immediately went to the media center / library. When the individual entered the library, he fired 1 additional shot and then detonated or ignited one of the incendiary devices, which caused a fire, a large amount of smoke inside the library, and then caused at least 3 bookshelves to catch fire, which generated additional smoke and some fire inside the library portion of Arapahoe High School. The individual fired a 5th round and then ran to the back corner, which would be the north edge of the library, and there took his own life. All of the situations that I've just told you about, from the time that the individual entered the north door of Arapahoe High School and took his own life, took less than 1 minute and 20 seconds. That 1 minute and 20 seconds, in my mind, is extraordinarily relevant, because while he was entering the school and firing the rounds that he fired and igniting the Molotov cocktail that he ignited, the deputy sheriff that is assigned to this school as a school resource officer was immediately aware that there was a problem in the north side of the school and in the immediate area of the library. That deputy sheriff, accompanied by an unarmed school security officer and 2 administrators, ran from the cafeteria to the library. It is a fairly long hallway, but the deputy sheriff got there very quickly. And we know for a fact that the shooter knew that the deputy was in the immediate area, and while the deputy was containing the shooter took his own life. We know that the shooter took his own life with a self-inflicted gunshot wound. 1 minute and 20 seconds from the time that the individual entered the school until he took his own life. We know from the research, and we know from a conversation that we had earlier this morning with trained psychological and forensic psychological experts, that the typical shooter in these incidents will shoot until they are confronted by someone in a position of authority, a police officer or a sheriff's deputy. And this individual knew that our school resource officer was in his immediate area and he was going to contain this situation. We believe that the response from the school resource officer, the response from the unarmed school security officer, was absolutely critical to the fact that we did not have additional injury and or death in this particular matter. The shooter came armed with a pump shotgun and had multiple rounds available to him. It is our strong belief that he came to this school with that weapon and with multiple rounds, and his intention was to utilize those multiple rounds to cause harm to a large number of individuals. He was not able to do that because of the heroic efforts of the men and women that I just spoke of, as well as the first responders that got on this scene and secured this scene very, very quickly. In addition to the active shooter response and protocol of our school resource officer, the school also initiated an immediate lockdown of the facility. That is a process that the school has practiced and exercised over a long period of time. So the combination of the quick response by our resource officer and the implementation of a lockdown protocol caused the children and the staff of this facility to be safe. And we are able to ensure that their safety was guaranteed because they followed those protocols, and both protocols came together as they were designed to do for the safety and well-being of the students, faculty, and members of the community that were visiting this particular facility. We also know that based on our investigation that the shooter purchased the shotgun on December 6th at a local retail outlet. The weapon was purchased legally. The individual is 18 years of age, and he is able to purchase a shotgun legally in the state of Colorado at the age of 18. Yesterday morning, prior to coming to the school, the individual also purchased multiple rounds of shotgun ammunition that we believe was the ammunition that he brought into the school with him before he involved himself with the assault and with the shooting. Both of those purchases, the weapon as well as the ammunition, were accomplished legally. An 18-year-old is able to purchase a weapon and able to purchase ammunition for that weapon legally, as long as the weapon that is purchased is a shotgun or long rifle. Handguns are not able to be purchased by anyone less than 21 years of age. We have made the effort, as we promised, to open the we've made the promise, as we did yesterday, to open the west parking lot for students so they could come and retrieve their vehicles. I think you've seen activity in and out of the west parking lot through most of the day. Students that have been so inclined have been able to retrieve their vehicles. I will tell you that we don't know yet when we will release this building to the Littleton Public School System. However, we anticipate sometime midday tomorrow that we will release the facility back to the control of the school district. We still have a great deal of evidence. We still have a great deal of forensic work to do inside. And as I've mentioned many times, we will not do it quick, we will do it right. And the folks that are currently inside this building doing that work are some of the most qualified forensic experts that I've ever had the opportunity to work with, and I know that they will do it right. I have a few other comments that I would like to make, but before I go any further, I would like to bring my friend Scott Murphy, Superintendent of Littleton Public Schools, to the microphone for any comments he may have. I then have a few more comments relative to our investigation, and then I will read a statement from the family of the young lady that was the victim of this shooting.